Welcome back, folks. It is Jafer, and today we're going to take a look at what I consider the four horsemen of Razer. It is their four wireless offerings that are of their premium mice variants. And while I know I'm not necessarily bringing anything brand new to the table here, because some of these mice are about a year and a half old, all the way to 6 months old, I still feel it's important that we understand the differences because they're kind of in line with different target audiences, and I want to help you understand what might be the best mouse for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we get into each individual mouse, I think it's important to just take note that all four of these are going to include the following features, so I don't have to just rehash the same information over and over again. And that's going to be Razer's Focus Plus optical sensor, measuring up to 20,000 dpi. I've never had any issues with the sensor, except for one instance that I will get into later on in the video. It does have built-in rubber grips on both sides for all of the mice, and they're super comfortable and extremely durable. They're not going to be the same rubber grips that you're used to on the old Steel series, where they kind of accumulate oil over time and eventually peel away with that glue. These are awesome rubber side grips. Razer's own optical switches are going to be in all four of these mice with a response time of 0.02 milliseconds. You're never going to experience any double clicking. They are extremely fast. It is important to note that all of my copies, except for the DeathAdder V2 Pro, are going to be their version 1 optical switches. All of these mice do have the white PTFE feet that are smooth on any surface you're gaming on, whether it be hybrid, cloth, hard surface, you name it. They glide exceptionally well. Lastly, each mouse is going to come with their SpeedFlex charging cable, so if you are in a pinch, you do need to charge your mouse and you do want to game at the same time, having that SpeedFlex cable will allow you to do so without any of that stiff limitation that a normal braided cable is going to bring onto you. And they are, of course, all compatible with that very sexy looking Razer Chroma charging dock. Starting off, we have the Basilisk Ultimate, a right-handed ergo mouse taking obvious inspiration from the ever-popular Logitech G502. It's the only mouse of the four with a thumb rest and sports some gorgeous RGB lighting that Razer's always been known for. Coming in at 130 by 60 by 42 millimeters and 107 grams, I found myself using this mouse most when I was kind of in that chill gaming mode. It really excels in a claw or palm grip style. The extremely comfortable thumb rest and perfectly placed side buttons really kind of nudge you into the direction of that nice relaxed grip. The other interesting thing about this mouse is that it is the only one with a smooth plastic finish or coating, whereas the other offerings are going to have that PBT feel to it, a little bit textured, where this is going to be completely smooth. And then within that thumb rest is going to be what they used to call a sniper clutch button, but it feels more like a trigger. Basically, as you're holding the mouse, you can simply use it as a regular button, or you can also hold it down. So if you're someone that's ADSing a lot or whatever secondary weapon you have and you want to be able to hold it, even something like pushing the talk, whatever it may be, you can definitely set it to this button. And if this button gets in the way and you no longer want to use it, well, they do include an actual cover. So it basically eliminates that and you're left with just the two standard side buttons. And I found myself just not necessarily using this mouse in what amounts to be those stressful, heated moments of any ranked play in Valorant or Apex Legends. This is definitely something that I was using when I was playing Prey or Doom. It's simply because it's such a comfortable mouse, but it's just too heavy for my liking. But that doesn't mean that if you're someone that is looking at this, shouldn't necessarily stray away from it if you're okay with that rather heavy weight, as it does have some great features and 11 programmable buttons, as well as a tilt scroll wheel that also has a customizable dial built in to help adjust that resistance to whatever fine-tuned setting that you're looking for. The problem that I have with this mouse is that it retails at a whopping $149.99 USD, but the thing is that in this day and age, with it being just over a year old now, we've seen it on sale so often, so as much as I say that this is a great mouse, do not buy it at regular price. I do recommend it though if you are someone looking for a nice production mouse, as it does have a 100-hour battery life, or if you're someone coming from the G502 and you're just looking for something different, then this is right up your alley. The Naga Pro is the result of nearly a decade of Naga installments with Razer fine-tuning to see what's going to work best for the gamer, and this is going to be the end result. It's got a wide load though, coming in at 117 grams, and it's really ideal for that claw or palm grip as it measures at 119 by 74 by 43 millimeters. What makes this so unique is that it is the only one on the table today that has 3 customizable plates to accommodate to your comfort and whatever game you're playing. You have one that you have a 12 button layout for MMOs right where your thumb rests to pair with all the numerous spell and attack abilities on your hotbars. Then there's also a 6 button for MOBAs or Battle Royales, so that way you can do on the fly building, or of course if you need to do any casting or attacking. And then there's your traditional 2 button for your first person shooter or really whatever. None of these plates or styles have to be set to any specific game or genre. Having options like this on the Naga Pro is really going to put it on a pedestal higher than other mice out there on the market. Just like the Basilisk Pro, the Naga Pro has a tilt scroll wheel for even more buttons and optimizations, maxing out at a total of 19 total buttons that you can have all at once. Pro has an impressive 150-hour battery life with the included Bluetooth feature, or 100 with Razer's own 2.4 gigahertz connection. And I love the comfort that this mouse brings for those long gaming sessions with World of Warcraft that I've been on and off of for a number of years now. I will say though that out of every option here today, the Naga is probably going to be the most polarizing of shapes as it is so wide, and it also comes in at an incredible $149.99 price point. And I could be wrong here, but I've yet to see this mouse go on sale. I think because it caters to such a niche audience. And I know folks who absolutely hate this mouse, and I also know those that have only used the Naga exclusively for the past decade. So if you are someone that does bounce around between numerous different types of games and you're looking for something with more accessible buttons so you're not having to dance your hand all around your keyboard, this might be the perfect mouse for you. The DeathAdder V2 Pro. What is there really to say about the DeathAdder that hasn't been said already? It's Razer's flagship right-handed ergo mouse. It's been the case since almost 2006. This version is the newest of the 4. This comes in at 127 by 62 by 42 millimeters, and it has a comfortable 88 grams. Now that's normally a little bit higher than the average mouse coming out nowadays, but keep in mind this is wireless and this is designed for medium to large size hands. And the original DeathAdder Elite was, I believe, 105 grams, and the wired version of this is 82, so I'll take a 6 gram weight difference for it to be wireless. My hand size measures at 19 by 10 centimeters, and I can claw or palm this very comfortably. Definitely recommend only a really large size hand if you plan on fingertipping this mouse. The V2 Pro has my favorite side buttons and scroll wheel out of the bunch today. They're very large, flat surface side buttons that arch right over where your thumb's going to rest. And the wheel is nothing short of really the most comfortable scroll wheel Razer has. It has a really nice grip to it, and it's rounded, so it doesn't have that flat cutoff that you're going to find with other scroll wheels that Razer has released. Its shape just kind of molds to your hand and fingers, making it the perfect wireless ergonomic mouse for the competitive scene. When it comes to an ergo mouse, we need it to be ergonomic, and as you can tell by the aggressive curvature of the DeathAdder, you can see what's made it such a fan favorite over the years. The issue I've had with my copy though is not necessarily anything in durability, but the sensor. I've had tracking issues since I've had this mouse, and I'm hoping that if I can get a replacement, that'll definitely take care of the issue, as this is the same sensor you're going to find in the other mice, and I didn't have any issues with that at all. I do believe this is extremely isolated though, and I only need to get it exchanged. The battery life is right around 70 hours on Razer's Hyperspeed, and then right around 100 as this also has Bluetooth. As I stated in the beginning, this sports the V2 of the optical switches, and Razer claims that they're much more of a tactile feel while also maintaining that durability of optical switches. With my copy, I do feel the tactility, but I think it's suppressed because of the shell, being that it is just one piece of plastic. It's not individual mouse 1 and 2 on their own triggers. So I feel like there's a little bit of plastic resistance that results in it being a tad mushy. So it doesn't really feel like that much of an improvement versus version 1. This is another mouse that I strongly recommend if the size and that grip that I demonstrated is going to work for you. Now this retails at $129.99. However, it does seem to be on sale quite often. As I'm recording this video, it is on sale on Amazon US for $89.99, which is $40 off, quite a chunk of change. And I'm personally hoping, though, we do see a quartz or a mercury edition soon. This is another mouse I strongly recommend if the size is going to work for you and the grips that I did demonstrate are going to suit your preference or comfort level. It does retail for $129.99. However, it does seem to be on sale quite often. At the time of recording this, it is on sale for $89.99 on Amazon US. And I think that is a really good deal when it's under that $100 premium price point. And I don't know about you, I do like the black, but I'm personally hoping that Razer does release a mercury version of this really soon. The Viper Ultimate, the mouse that kind of just started it all for Razer about a year and a half ago, into the speed run of lightweight mice and overall just a vastly improved portfolio of products. It's Razer's only mouse that is a true symmetrical shape, meaning that it has buttons on both the left and right hand side. So if you are left-handed, this is a perfect mouse for you. Its low profile figure of 127 millimeters by 62 by 38 makes it ideal for any grip style and a perfect fit for your small, medium, or large hand size. At a mere 75 grams, it was impressive at its launch, and it still is to this day. It's incredibly solid for what they were able to chip away at the insides to make it overall a very durable mouse without any flex or creaking. I've made this mouse more than any other Razer product in the past, but there are improvements that I definitely would suggest, and that would be making better side buttons. I'm not a big fan of them as they are almost flush with the sidewall of the mouse, so it's really hard to differentiate where your thumb is at certain times compared to other mice on the market. And that scroll wheel is super tactile, and the feedback on it is really sharp with each step. I would definitely prefer something more of a smoother step. And by now you probably have noticed this color scheme as it is that like galaxy purple with my name on it, which is awesome. This is actually done by Nacho Customs. He does a ton of work with a ton of people, and really if you get in contact with him, and I'll leave a link in the description below, he can do the same thing for whatever mouse you're looking to customize. But Razer also does have options as well. You don't have to necessarily just get an all black model like the other mice that we already looked at. You can get a mercury, a quartz, or even the really awesome yellow Cyberpunk 2077 model, which I believe is limited. So you can definitely tell right then and there that with Razer giving you more options, they've really gone all in with the Viper because of the fact of it just being a very successful mouse, and it's something that they want to just invest further into, whether it be someone that is in the casual market or all the way to a pro. This should definitely be on your list if you're researching for a premium competitive mouse, as the specs involved and overall it's just a really great value because it's always on sale. I hardly ever see this at regular manufacturer suggested retail price. And with that being said, you can definitely tell that it's always going to be a tug of war match between the Viper Ultimate and that Logitech G Pro wireless. So I hope I was able to kind of differentiate between the four mice and really pinpoint what their purposes are and what type of gamer they're really designed for. And while I feel that all four on my desk, I could really go with either one, definitely the Viper Ultimate is still going to be my main as it has been for months and months. But that does not mean that the other three are going to be insufficient. And whatever you might be looking for, definitely leave a comment below. If you have any questions on what you're playing or what you're doing, maybe I might be able to help you out. Of course, if you did like the content, please throw a like and hit that subscription button, which is always appreciated. Until next time, you guys stay safe.